Hello, everyone. Welcome to Van City Beats, Eats,
and more?
We are broadcasting live on the unceded ancestral lands of the Musqueam,
Tsleil-Waututh,
and Squamish First Nations, what is colonially known as
Vancouver,
but what we like to call
Van City.
My name is
Kazimi.
This is True, and I'm sitting down with
Thomas.
AKA
Maxey.
AKA
Thomas Maxey?
AKA
The chess guy?
AKA one of my coolest friends.
Oh, sure.
You know?
Yeah.
We're going to shoot the sugar and get to know this wonderful, beautiful human who is a DJ, a producer, a chess... Would you consider yourself a chess master?
Connoisseurs, like maybe a bit much, so...
Okay, connoisseur.
How about enthusiast?
Enthusiast. Is it your move or mine?
It's mine. I'm going to go here.
I'm just going to go here.
Mm.
Thomas Maxey, my first question for you today is, tell me about the first time, your earliest memory of when, music socked you in the soul.
Oof, that's a very distinct one for me. I had this little disco ball that was reflecting off of sunlight when I was like 5 years old. And I was playing Beat It by Michael Jackson, which, my heart is still broken.
Yo, shout outs to Q, the one and only, the legend, Quincy Jones.
Just something in that power was so instrumental that it just wrapped itself around me. One of those moments that was like, wow, what is this thing that we can't see but we can feel so deeply? And just kept wanting to explore and find out more.
What kind of music did you grow up listening to in your household?
A lot of jazz and blues, a lot of funk. Lots of soul.
Name me artists.
I would say like Miles Davis, Herbie Hancock, John Coltrane, Ella Fitzgerald. My dad kind of like threw more like rock and pop curveballs into the mix, so he's like a big fan of the Cars and like A Flock of Seagulls.
Are we talking on vinyl or on what was the home player?
Yeah, home player was just like a Panasonic, CDs. My mom has a crazy, crazy book of CDs, like 3 separate books, just jam-packed, I think with like 100 CDs per pack. Just full of like such great music that kind of like shaped me to this person I am today.
And in the context, sidebar, it's your move.
Oh, thank you.
I took one of your guys.
Okay, copy that.
And so then, do you remember the first time you saw a DJ?
Yes. Yeah. I think that was a Rock the Bells concert.
Oh, Rock the Bells, what a throwback!
And I saw Common do this theater performance, maybe like 2007 or 8. It was a hot minute ago.
So you mean the first time you saw a DJ, you were like already 16, 17?
Yeah, and Common's DJ, I can't remember his name, sorry Common's DJ, but he was just doing the most insane juggling, stuff that I didn't know you could do on vinyl. And that kind of was like another little seed that planted in me to just see the complexity of how you can mix 2 records together and how you can essentially create this whole new story and conversation and like continuing what has already been made on these records, but like pushing, what can potentially be the story of today. So like seeing that in a live performance with like one of my favorite rappers on the planet was very powerful.
So then how did you start getting into DJing?
A bit of a weird trajectory for that. I kind of did, I started with acting. I thought that was kind of my main thing.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I really don't like actors. It seems they're trying to escape themselves to be someone else, that it just wasn't like, I don't know, something that felt anchored with me. So I went to the dark side of film, being behind the camera.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sean. After every semester, I would always be the DJ for these film parties. And just something about being able to get people to have like such release from everything that gets bottled up throughout their days. I don't know. I really loved having that ability to just kind of like free people. So yeah, I don't think that's like what very much sort of made me feel that this is something that resonates most with me. A lot of it was just kind of like throwing myself into the deep end. Like I got Serato, and then
in the box.
Yeah, and then like
back in the day,
and like a week later, I had my like first gig at Fortune, and I had no idea how using like turntables to DJ worked. I had my friend over a couple times that was trying to help me figure it out. We just couldn't. There's just little things that you need to know about DJing to kind of like go through the hoops and make sure everything works. So yeah, it took a while to kind of absorb everything, but I just wanted to throw as much gear my way as possible so I can kind of like be able to show up at a set and
know what to do.
Use another doctor's tools and go to town on a little brain surgery, There was this one particular party I was playing at my friend's place. It was just a wild house party.
Those ones are the best.
Yeah, and I just remember just like simply looking down at my hands and just feeling this spiritual content.
Well, let's just keep doing that. Your top 5 favorite DJs right now?
DJ Coco in a heartbeat. He is kind of like second to none.
Tell everybody where you saw him most recently, because that was epic.
DJ Coco at Fortune for Flip Out's 50th birthday.
Hey.
And oh my gosh, that man is not from this planet. This whole like aspect of things on Earth can't be perfect because they're too much like God was literally before us, and it was so alien.
Homeboy was playing all 45s that he knew so well. He knew exactly where to pull it up. He was giving us a musical education of one sample into the next, and then you could hear the one that was coming up next, and you're just like, genius.
Yeah.
We need to figure out a way to get him back.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's one. And that's also Flip Out's favorite DJ, which is why he played his birthday party.
So let me give you 3, 4, and 5. If that's okay.
So you're saying Coco is 1 and 2. All right.
That's okay. I mean, I can do 2, 3, 4, 5 if you wish.
Okay, and 3 and 4 and 5?
3 would probably be like Larry Levan. 4, DJ U-Turn. One of probably the most powerful Vancouver DJs that I've seen, which again was an anchor for me to like keep pursuing music. I just have never been able to see someone adapt to a crowd quite like that. His
like he knew how to
and like the song choice and the way that he mixed it, everything just was like absolute butter. And then my 5th, I'm gonna say Nick Wisdom. Yeah.
Why is that?
I think
he was on season 2, by the way. Look it up.
I think he has always shown me to not care about how flush the mixes are, and every time I like hop into his ideology of like getting a little bit more free with transitions, that's when like him and we're doing back to back that we make the most crazy like things that we didn't know possible we could even do, and just I think he's just really shown me how incredible you can mix vinyl and just kind of how to like not give so much emphasis into like having stuff be really like puzzle piece together, but I don't know, he just has a little bit more like freedom in the way that he plays, and I find that really inspiring.
I would love to know, what is your process in putting together a DJ set?
I'm pretty over the top. I will put way more songs in a playlist than I need to.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I feel like, Scout's honor, you always want to be like as prepared as possible for a gig.
So then in the moment, you are just vibing off of one track, how it feeds off of another. like the crowd, and then you're selecting another from your crate.
Yeah, and kind of
essentially.
everything that I'll select is always based on the space and based on the people that I know are going to be present. So yeah, it takes a little bit of a minute to kind of like jig and find the best one. But I don't know.
Thomas Maxey, shall we?
We shall.
I think we shall.
Okay.
Maybe one more little
Yeah,
cucumber.
little crunch for the people.
What's this?
Oh.
More chess? More snacks? Now switching topics. I would love to know about the first time you learned to play chess.
I was in high school. My Bulgarian friend Nedelcho showed me how to play chess.
What a name!
Great man. He's currently in Sofia, Bulgaria, and has a hazelnut farm. Sorry,
Love it.
random information, but
We love the random
so
information.
He taught me sort of the basics, and then just absolutely in like 3 moves, completely whooped me. And I just like never really messed with chess until I had some very beautiful games with Nick Wisdom, and
And that's more recently.
That's more recent. This is like maybe like 2.5 years ago. And I want to be able to create more of like an acceptance around chess for people that are in their like late teens, early 20s.
You're trying to reach the younger demos, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
So, okay, you didn't quite answer my question though about like homeboy taught you, then you didn't really play, and then only in recent years through our beautiful good friend Nick Wisdom you started to play. Like, what was it about it now at this time in your life that spoke to you that then created and started this whole thing of collecting chessboards, selling chessboards and vintage ones, and as kitschy and crazy as they can get?
Yeah, honestly, it was just this one game with Nick late in the evening, and we had essentially a few pieces left on the board, and it was just my king chasing one of his pawns, and the like last move that I had was to prevent his pawn from promoting to a queen. And because I had that one last move to get his queen, then we were both left with 2 kings. Some of the really powerful games I had at Nick's place was enough to like really allow this seed to continue blooming. And yeah, kind of got into this wildness that it is now, that I, for some reason, felt I could be crazy enough on an artist's budget to just host free chess events.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your move.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it essentially started something that you call...
No stress chess.
Which means?
Life is stressful, and maybe playing a game that is considered stressful will help mitigate that stress.
Stress plus stress doesn't equal more stress.
Yeah, it equals much less stress. All of these boards were featured at No Stress Chess.
Which popped up in Gastown this past summer.
But the first iteration that I had, I felt like I was a kid having a birthday party. And the time came and I was waiting for all the, doorbell sounds to ring and all these friends to come over to hang out for my, hypothetical chess birthday, and no one came.
No!
So I set up, I don't know, probably for an hour with my partner Sophia.
Yeah.
And it was just on the beach at Sunset Beach, and made little signs even, right, to put on the seawall to hope that, people would feel
comfortable enough
enticed
to come
to come, hop out of their little seawall gallivant. What's the word I'm looking for? Like, meander, maybe?
Yeah, meander. Stumble upon.
But there was, I don't know, maybe like 8 people came in like almost 6 hours that I was there. and I brought this huge thing of lemon water, and I had like this dialed playlist and all these chessboards everywhere. And I like at the end of it was pushing this cart with like 200 pounds worth of like tables and chessboards and like sandbags up this hill, and nobody was helping me push it, and it just was like, what am I doing with my life? Like, I've been focusing on music for like 15 years. Why am I taking this weird like super left turn into this dark, like dusty, cobwebbed space of chess that like
this guy got like, deep and dark with himself over just one idea.
Totally. So I was like, I don't want to do this. Like, why did I do this? And then
where did you arrive?
I did a couple more, actually. And thankfully they got a little bit better. This element that Vancouver needs so badly is this community and this like
connection.
Sort of like stripping away the superficial veneer that most Vancouverites are stuck in, and sort of opening up the potential of having more of an interaction with strangers. And I feel like, you know, the board game era, for sure, but I think, I don't know, chess is a really beautiful bridge between strangers. And
what's a profound interaction or a meaningful interaction you had once playing chess with a stranger?
Just this incredible, like, sparkle in his eyes. Puerto Rican man was waiting for me to finish a game, because I guess he like put two and two together that I was the host of this. And so I eventually finished my game. I sat down to play with him. I was thinking that maybe he was going to play with one of his family members, because he looked good. And so we
like
played...
he looked good, or he looked like he was good at chess?
Yeah, he looked like he was good at chess.
Got it.
And so we played a game, and within like 15, 20 moves, that was it. And then he just like very gently said, I do this full time. I'm like a level 2500, which if people don't know what that is, it's like anything over 25 or like 24 is a grandmaster. So the fact that I had created this free to join chess environment, and just randomly this person from Puerto Rico
who's a grandmaster
the next day was going on like a cruise with his family, just so happened to be passing through Gastown, and yeah, whooped me. And now him and I have just been like playing online, and he's taught me so much. The community of people who play chess has really opened my eyes into the potential of being a human being.
I would love for you to ask me what's in my pocket.
What is in your pocket?
Well, wouldn't you like to know?
Okay.
I have some fun questions here.
Ooh.
This one's pick from the pile. Please answer truthfully and wholeheartedly, sir.
Oh, that's a one. Okay. What's the most surprising discovery you've made about myself? I think just slowly is the fastest way to get where you want to go. And I feel like a big part of my process has been slow, and like really taking my time and not feeling this like ageism that seems to be the norm for like maybe more like just North America. But yeah, just I think that the biggest discoveries is needing like the allowance and the acceptance to just like go slow. And the slower you go, it seems the more you can absorb along the way.
And move from a place of intentionality and mindfulness.
What if we could transmute that busyness into something that's more like productiveness, where it doesn't matter how fast your productiveness is. You know, it can be a slow productiveness because it's still propelling you in the direction you need to go. It's just going the toot of your own horn.
Did you have something happen in your 30s that like got you to arrive to that realization?
Yeah, I feel like most of my 20s I spent listening, and I'm feeling comfortable to share like those different elements that I've absorbed throughout my 20s of just like only kind of being quiet and to myself, to kind of just to, I guess, be a little bit more intentional which is like, having to draw it back to chess. It's you really need to be present and see all things that are presented to you and not feel that element of rush all the time and really get into, I don't know, just more of a patience.
Where did you develop your sense of style and taste? What are the things you gravitate towards collecting and getting?
I would say just like abstract would be my style, just stuff that is, a little bit different. I don't know.
I'm going to fill it up with words.
Thank you. Please take it away.
Earth tones, a lot of mid-century modern, a lot of like teak, a lot of oak. I made that up. I don't know. Nice. But I think it's teak, It's got this kind of like a walnutty color of wood. A lot of wood, a lot of greens. A lot of reds, like burnt orange kind of reds, I would say. Like your glasses. Stained glass, plants. Thomas Maxey.
Yes.
Shall we?
We shall. Nice. Oh, yeah, you're going to take that.
I'm going to go here.
Okay.
Yes. What do you think has been maybe one of the most impactful metaphors of life that you drew from playing chess?
Yeah, I think just being able to zoom out from ourselves. Sometimes we immediately want to react, and that's just kind of already setting yourself up for trouble. There's so much more available to just taking a moment to get out of your own way. And I think most times, specifically with my gender, there's just like this need of like immediacy, which is why this game is so great. It's like, no, just take your time.
If I go here, your nene can take my nene.
Yeah, you're in a bit of a buckle.
I'm in a...
But you could think about maybe being like, oh, well, I'm going to do something to your bigger piece, which I don't think...
I can.
You can.
I cannot.
Yeah.
You literally have trapped me.
So I would, in my humble opinion...
Okay.
Go here. But, I want you to live your life as well.
I will say yes to that
Okay.
if you answer my next question.
Ooh, another one?
Yes.
Thank you. I'm going to go with the one that's most out. Tell me about one of the best gifts you've ever given or received.
Put that one in your pocket.
Okay. I feel like if my family already knows what my answer would be for this one, and I feel like I should share it because it's quite funny.
Go.
But I really wanted an N64.
Oh, yes.
For Christmas when I was maybe just 10.
Because what game did you want to play on it? Or games?
Mario Kart was probably the biggest one. Also like Super Mario. Just playing that in Future Shop. So I know that's a bit of a...
Throwback. Before Best Buy.
Before Best Buy. And anyways, I want it so bad. And my parents were like, we can't afford it. We can't afford it. Like, please stop asking. Because of course, it's like the age-old thing. All your friends have it, and you're bored of having to always go over to their place, and like you just need the home console. So this one Christmas, I was just nonstop about it, and we opened up all the presents. Of course, there was no N64, and so I was just like devastated. Which is like the only really thing that wraps around your mind as a small child is just like, what can I like get for birthdays or Christmas?
Yeah.
And so my parents could like kind of tell, and my mom was like, well, just, I don't know, look around and see if you can find it. And so she had created all of these already owned Lego pieces that were already constructed, and she would wrap them up in wrapping paper and like hid them. Like, thanks, Mom. And then like finally one of the presents that I opened was this N64, and I just absolutely like lost my mind. So I think that was probably the most impactful of just like sharing something as a kid, because it's usually the stuff that we remember the most. But
I think it's my favorite console.
yeah, it's very special.
I mean, innovative in design. That was the first that we saw the little
Joystick.
Yeah. So good.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a world in which, throughout the trajectory of your lifetime that you see now, that you would not have chosen DJing, that you would not have chosen music production, that you would not have chosen?
I think maybe if I was less aware and more just sort of abiding by the way our species lives, I would have become an actor and just kind of like lived in that sort of escaping myself to be someone else veneer. But
I can relate.
Something about musicians being able to essentially hang their dirty laundry invisibly for us to be like, the song is literally written to me, but it was written, you know, even before I was born. And just like, I don't know, having awareness to kind of dig a little bit deeper. Not to say that like acting is not a worthwhile endeavor, like it totally is, but I just feel now what we're seeing with film, it just is like, it's very redundant and kind of like derivative, and the stuff is just kind of, let's revamp a book, or like, you know, a movie that was made in the 60s and like put a modern spin on it. And I don't know, it just wasn't really something that I could like see myself fully getting into. But if I didn't have the like willingness to, I guess, be a little bit more curious and like really, I don't know, being, I guess, aware, I would have been an actor, and I would have probably never met you.
What is the message you think the world needs to hear right now? Or a message that the world needs to hear right now?
Do random things for free. And just realize that people who pass you, even just walking past on the sidewalk, are someone who could potentially change your life. And so being open to every person in your orbit.
That makes me smile, because you're one of my most generous friends, you know?
Thank
you do that coming from a place of like authenticity, just to share, just to give, just to be kind. What album or track do you feel exemplifies that sentiment?
This artist called Popcorn, and the song's called A Song for You. That is, yeah, very much that same focus of someone has spent so much time to work on something for you because they like see you and they hear you and they understand you. That this song specifically is just so wrapped around that world of just this infinite giving, and never having anything in life that is seen as adversity to ever change that potency. Sorry to use your word. Just because, yeah, there's like this need to really get out of this individualism and hop into how can we collaborate and be more collective, and yeah, just kind of get out of this and into this. I think is very dire for our species right now.
With that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we just do like a dance. I'll just go there. But yeah, you have some options.
I'm gonna go there.
That's a good option. I feel like you have something else.
Well, I made that move, so.
Oh, no, I meant like something else to say.
Mm. Mm. In one sentence, Thomas Maxey. Wait, oh, I see. What do you dream about?
Having one giant space where it doesn't cost people anything to come and like have an event or have a market or, you know, have a dance session or like have improv classes, like everything for people who are wanting to do something that normally costs money, I think should be entirely for free. And I want to be able to create that melting pot of just a giant space for people that don't have good circumstance and they're really like stuck by being hand to mouth. And I really want to kind of like use my privilege to allow others to pursue what they know they need to do, but they can't because they're stuck in circumstance. That's kind of like my dream for Vancouver, because I think unfortunately, there's like any big city, there's this sort of like dog eat dog mentality.
Beautiful. Let's cheers. Thomas Maxey, our hour is up. We have played chess, 3 different boards. I would like to condense my lessons from this conversation as go slow, smell the flowers, be present. Kitschy is kind of a tacky word. Not hipster cool, like I thought. And that chess is for the young, the old, the mids. It's for everyone. And it is life.
Nice.
Yes?
Beautiful.
To everyone who's been watching, thank you so much for tuning in. This is episode 3 of season 3. I have been with Thomas Maxey. My name is Kazi. And this has been Van City Beats, Eats, and
More.
more.